What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Hood Jiu-Jitsu. Y'all already know. I'm coming in with my 7-month afro journey. Update. Just about to talk about a few things and some tips and tricks. I need to start making a tips and trick video for people who starting to grow out their afros and everything, and you feel like it's a lot. It's not a lot, man. It's very simple. It just takes time. Give yourself 5 months. You should be able to find somebody who can grip the hair to braid it. 5-6 months. I seen a video where one dude was talking about it took him like almost 7 months. Like he waited 7 months or whatever to get his braids because he couldn't find nobody that could really grip the hair that small. So it's just, it's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I seen like a lot of other videos and smaller YouTube channels. I should have wrote their names down so I could put them in the video. It's just a lot of stuff, that you think about, especially when you're first starting it, because you're so excited. You want to try out all kind of new ways, how people do stuff like, just simple stuff, just spraying water on your hair, not putting too much product and everything. I mean, that works, but a lot of time I think we get suckered in, and it's mainly as like boys, because the majority of boys, when we go to these beauty supply shops, of course we're not trying to spend too much money, because to us it's like, hey man, I just need this to see if it'll work, whatever. Usually girls spend like a lot of money on shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So for most dudes, like I said, we mainly go for like the cheaper stuff, like the Via, olive oils and all of that. But like I said, it needs to be somebody out here kind of giving better tips of, get beauty supply oils, go to Sally's, quarter to 10, Hollywood beauty supply. Don't go to like the dollar store unless you're gonna get like some grease, some softy grease or whatever. Then I can understand, but try to leave the oils out of it. The only oil that you mainly may need is like the black Jamaican castor oil, because that to me is like the most effective oil besides like coconut oil. Other than that, I don't think nothing is better than those two. But some other people, they will buy like spearmint and mint oil to take down the smell away from the Jamaican black castor oil. So that is one thing. Hold on, let me blaze up. And the prices, that's another thing that a lot of people don't talk about, like the prices of everything, man. Like I said, man, if you don't have a sister or anybody who can really just braid your hair for cheap, like you gonna be looking at least $100, man. Then also it's like you like a lot of shit you can't do if you're a MMA fighter or do wrestling or anything like that, especially in this heat, the summer heat. I'm in Texas. Your shit comes loose, Making your hair too wet and slick will make your hair come loose. That's one thing that I fucked up when I first got my braids. Like, I only had them in for like, I think 5 days. And every day I was spraying, fucking sheen in my hair. The stuff to hold, the hair hold, whatever. I would spray that in my hair. Then on top of that, I'd like put like a little thin layer of grease in my hand, just to slick the braids and everything. And I kept wondering why my braids coming apart, not realizing that my hair was too greasy and everything, too greasy and oily. And on top of that, me working out would, mess it up. But like I said, back to the prices, like that's one thing that you want to kind of put into consideration, because you don't want to pay almost $100, almost every 3 weeks. Then on top of that, you gotta worry about trying to keep your hair intact, like that's stressful. It's very fucking stressful, man. And That's just one of the tips for a lot of people who growing out their afro and trying to get braids, dreads, whatever. You gotta try to find you a good cheap price, because these people, especially our people, man, like, you will hear a lot of motherfuckers kind of tell you, oh man, them the prices, you don't complain about the Chinese person or the Asian lady and all this other shit. I'm not gonna lie. Some of these Asian people, they charge way cheaper prices. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I understand people will say, oh, it only lasts for like 2 weeks or whatever. But like I said, if you're doing activities and then your braids come apart, that's different. But if your hair comes apart and it's only been a week and a half, and the fucking rubber bands are coming off, that's a problem. If you are a beauty supply shop or whatever beauty salon, you should have the best rubber bands in the world to put in your client's hair to where it stays in. They should not come out. And I know it's like some elastic rubber bands where you can stretch them out farther than regular rubber bands. I was using those. They still come out of my hair, and that's what fucks everything up. But like I said, it was either my hair was too greasy or just, the rubber bands would come on my head. And on top of that, the pricing of everything, $80 to get cornrow designs. Then on top of that, for us, our barber, she only charges $10 now for edge up. So that's a little sigh of relief, instead of her charging fucking 15, for edge up, and cause she'll also hit your beard and all of that shit. She includes that with it. So you're almost looking at $100 damn near a month just to keep your hair looking right, But like I said, man, it's a lot of things that we as men who are beginning to do this shit, we fuck up on, buying too much shit. I remember people was talking about, buying like all of these different shampoos and conditioners. When I first started my journey, I did the same shit, buying all this different shit, trying to find like all these different ingredients. That shit, it does not help your hair. I mean, it does, like, it will help your hair, like small amounts. Like, every day if you use it, it'll be just a small amount. But of course, over the weeks and months, that small amount adds up. But the thing about it is, you want to just keep your hair retention. You don't want to just be like picking your hair out too much and too fast, and then when you go look at the comb, you will have like hair in it. And you see this little hair that I'm moving right here by my pinky. I don't know if you can see it, but I just pulled that out. That's what keeps your hair from growing. Whenever you're constantly picking your hair, and then the fucking long ass hair strands like this come out of your head. That's a long ass strand. That's a long strand. But when shit like that keeps happening and you keep picking your hair, that's what takes away your length retention. Shout out to Uniquely James for that tip, when he made that video, because that was one thing that I was wondering. I was like, man, what is the one thing that keeps your hair growing? What makes it grow faster? And he just kept talking about how he does not pick or he doesn't comb his hair out. That helped me. Like I said, around about three months of me growing my hair, I started using the curl sponge, so I wouldn't have to constantly just pick it. And plus, I just got tired of only having an afro with a shape up. I wanted something different, and the curl sponge gave me that ability with to give my hair a design without constantly picking at it, low management. But what else, man? A lot of times I kept hearing about, not washing your hair every day. That, honestly, to me, that's bullshit and that's bogus. Like, you should wash your hair every day. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And when I say wash your hair, I don't mean like, just using these different shampoos that strip all of the oils out of your hair. Like, there is some shampoos that have, like, moisturizing properties, to keep your hair clean. Like, I don't give a fuck with nobody say, oh, you don't wash your hair, you wash out all the oil. That's disgusting. And that's probably why a lot of people, like, I don't even want to get into that, but like a lot of girls like to say they don't like to wash their hair because they keep it in the protective style and it helps keep their hair greasy, whatever. Oh man, I mean, just me looking at it, it's like if I see all these other girls not washing their hair and their hair is not really growing, I would think to myself, maybe let me try to wash my hair every day, condition my shit. Maybe that would help, I don't know. But putting perms and all these sew-in weaves, that shit, oh man, that's a motherfucker, man. And I think that's one thing that also fucks up the stigma of like growing out your hair and using protective styles. Like when you putting in these weaves and it's fucking your shit up, and you hearing other people say, oh, don't take a bath because the fake hair isn't supposed to get wet. Like, I'd rather go bald headed and grow my real shit out instead of putting on this fake shit, making my head even more itchier. Not washing your hair. Now your scalp might get infected and shit. Now it can't grow even more because it's dirty. Like, man, people don't understand. Like, you wash your ass every day, so you should wash your hair every day. Hair has more bacteria on it than a lot of shit, which is crazy. But like I said, man, like, these are tips and tricks for all dudes that don't take that want to grow their hair, but like, we on a budget, man. All of that shit is bullshit. You don't need no fucking expensive ass Pantene Pro V. All you need is some Alberto VO5, something with biotin in it. Let your hair grow. Don't keep combing at it. And I understand, like, when you first start and you start seeing that length and you start combing it, that's what's gonna make you want to keep combing it. But you gotta leave that shit alone. Just let it grow. Try to get you a curl sponge in the meantime. If you don't have a curl sponge, try to go get one of those the bath sponge that you take a bath with, like at Walmart or anything. You can use that. That'll curl up the hair also. But with that, you don't want to press down too hard because it's not really going to give you the curl. You want to just barely put it on your head gently, do it like that. But what else, man? All of the oils and all of that shit. Use some grease. I know some people don't like using grease because it's like, just the feel of your hair and scalp being too greasy. I used to hate that shit when I was younger. I don't know why. I just used to hate it. But when it comes to products like that, I say, man, just use grease. Keep you a little spray bottle with you, like one of the little fingertip spray bottles, only like 2 fluid ounces. Keep that with you, spray your shit, keep it soft, whatever, But I do mix Jamaican black castor oil and peppermint oil with it, yeah. That's what I use when I be, like, sometimes at the gym, I'll still just spray my shit. Keep it back out, The one thing that I will say that I did do every day with my hair was condition my hair. Besides when I got the braids or whatever, conditioning was one thing that I kept doing, And then on top of that, even if you don't want to, like, not wash your hair every day, there's this stuff called Suave Naturals dry shampoo. There's other like dry shampoos, but some of them bitches is like $6-7, and it's like, damn. I mean, it's worth it if you got braids and you want to keep your hair at least smelling right in between your wash days. That's one thing that I would advise you to get. What else, man? You gotta make sure you drinking your water, man, cause it's crazy, but whenever you are dehydrated, your body does feel different. Like your skin gets ashier, your hair is more brittle. That is a fact. And I remember one dude, he does like the starter locks. I forgot his name, but he has a YouTube channel. He has a big salon or whatever, following and shit. But he said some people, they put water on their hair because they're thinking, their hair is going to absorb the water or some shit. He said you have people putting more water on their head than they are actually drinking water, every day. And that kind of made sense. And I knew he wasn't lying because of how adamant and how serious he was about that question. Because, yeah, and he was answering questions. He was like, some people keep asking me about just constantly putting water on your head help your hair grow because your body needs water and all this. He said that's kind of like putting water on your car or whatever when you're washing it. It just helps clean it or whatever. But he was like, you need to put the water inside your body. Then he started breaking all of that shit down. So that sounded about right. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't done too much research on it, but how he worded that and everything, that shit sounded about right. So you want to make sure you're drinking your water, man. That keeps your hair and your skin, because those are the two things that are connected. Your hair, scalp, and skin, that's all connected. And if you're not hydrated, enough water going to the brain, your hair is going to be dry. That is a fact. Then there was another thing about vitamins and everything. I mean, you can take your vitamins. It'll help you. Because, there are some people who don't take vitamins at all. They just get up, exercise, whatever. Sometimes they don't even exercise. They just get up, eat, whatever. But vitamins will help. Like I said, it's small stuff. But over months and weeks, that small stuff adds up, So that's another thing. But, yeah, man, those are kind of a few of my little tips and tricks. Like I said, I'm at 7 months already, so we pretty bushy up here, We real bushy. I need to go get me an edge up because my shit starting to just go away. It look like my shit just go down. But, yeah, man, it's your boy Hood Jiu-Jitsu, man. 7 months, man. And the main key for growing out your hair, bro, you have to have patience. You have to be patient, bro. That's the one thing that helped me get through this shit. I'm not bullshitting. Because it was on one of my videos, you can check out my hair growth, afro journey stuff. It was like a week. Not even a week. It was like 4 or 5 days before I first got my braids. I told myself, I was like, man, I'm tired of growing it out. I was like, man, I don't want to keep waiting another 2 months just for braids. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to just cut it and shit. My sister came over there. She grabbed it. She was like, shit, I could braid this. And I was like, word. Next thing you know, I'm up here getting braided up. So, just have patience. The most amount of, the least amount of time that you need to get cornrows at least is, I say, 5 months, 5.5 months. After that, you should be able to braid your shit up. You're not gonna have no good hang time, like I showed y'all in my first shit. My hang time wasn't there, but the second time I got it, my hang time, it improved, man. And I only had my braids in for like a week, and my hair grew a lot, and I was like, damn, imagine if I would have kept that shit in for 3 weeks. And I honestly believe, when it's your first and second time getting your hair braided, I believe those are the most, crucial points of your hair growth journey, because I think your hair is not used to being pulled. And so when it's being pulled like that, it helps with the length. But after, you keep constantly getting it braided, it kind of slacks up, and, you don't feel it being as tight as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I believe actually helps. The first and second time you get your hair braided, you want to try to keep that shit in for as long as you can. The second time I got mine braided, I knew I should have took them out, but I kept them in. Even though the backs were coming undone, I still had, the front in the top, but like when it got to like almost my back crown, that's when it, you know, kind of started coming loose. But I still kept them, you know, braided up and shit. Like I said, man, I can see the improvement from where I've been, cause you know, if I go look at all my other videos, my head will look completely different. You know, I look different when I get the braids. Somebody told me I look like a fake ass Francis Ngannou. Yeah, I was John the King, ho ass. But yeah, man, you know, like I said, man, these are just a few tips and tricks, man. You know, stay patient, man. Just stay patient. Don't cut your shit. Try to keep getting the edge up so you could at least feel better about growing out your hair. Because, of course, you know, it's that, you know, that part where people say it's that ugly stage of growing out the fro. You know, that's what you want to try to get through. You want to try to get through that ugly stage. Because the less of an ugly stage you have, the easier it is for you to, you know, go through with this journey, man. Because once you start looking at yourself and you like, oh, man, I look fucking rough, this shit don't look right, you know, that's when you're gonna be like, man, I want to cut this shit. But also I don't know, I want to try to get like the high top, cut these sides and just get like, you know, the top braided that way, so the back won't just keep coming undone and shit. And plus it'll just be a new design or whatever. But I might get that maybe in 3-4 months. I don't know, depending on how I feel about my hair. Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to cut none of it off, because it's like I grew all of it to get it braided. You know, I don't want to just have like the little man bun, two braids or whatever. But it's your boy Hood Jiu-Jitsu, man. Just like I said, a few tips and tricks. Stay patient. Try to get your edge up. Don't buy too much, you know, bullshit ass product. The only thing that you really need to like buy in bulk, you don't even have to buy it in bulk though, because it's gonna be cheap, is the Alberto VO5 conditioner, because it has biotin in it, and that I believe that conditioner is the best because of the biotin properties, man. You know, so just try to get that, and that shit would work, man. You know, 5.5 months, 5.5 months, you should be able to get your shit braided, and you'll be good, man. No hang time, but you know, you'll be good. But like I said, the one thing that might kill it is the prices, you know. Because if you ain't got, you know, $120 damn near every month just for your hair, this journey ain't for you. And unless you got your mama or your sister, somebody who can, you know, braid it for cheap or for free and shit, you're not going to want to do this shit. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to do it, man. But if you're trying to get on this journey, man, hey, get your money up, get your curl sponge, all that shit. You used to pay $25 for a haircut. Now you gotta start getting used to paying $50 to $80 if you go into a salon. You know, you getting it done professionally, shit like that. But yeah, man, it's your boy Hood Jiu-Jitsu.